Dude, I can't believe what's going on in Afghanistan.
I know. I don't know a lot, but besides what I've been seeing on the news briefly, and watching some videos, it's insane.
For people that don't know, I mean, this is something that has been going on for like a good part of 20 years, I think, or maybe just 20 years, because everything started since more or less 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before that, I think there was not rumors, but I know back in like Osama bin Laden and all that area, right? Like he was in the U.S. and I think he was part of like the U.S. like Secret Service, not Secret Service, CIA. Like CIA. Yeah. So, I mean, there's history there, but ever since like 9/11, we have basically been at a constant like military standing in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the 20-year war. It started with George W. Bush, and
the longest war
it
the
is.
U.S. has ever been involved in.
It's been the longest war. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, 20 years is not easy. Definitely not cheap. And when I mean cheap, I mean like not money wise, but like a lot of lives have been lost. From probably both sides, right? If you think about 9/11, I mean, I remember like it was reported 170,000 people died because of 9/11 and the Twin Towers.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah,
that much?
Now I can't remember if that number comes out of just the towers, or like a follow up of basically all the 9/11 activities. Just such a sad moment in history for the U.S. and the world too. It wasn't just the U.S. I think other countries, because I don't know where you were at when 9/11 happened, but I was in Mexico when that happened, and it shook Mexico a lot, because a lot of people that were thinking like nobody can touch the U.S., right? You're talking about like the top economy, world economy of the world. You're talking about strong military, presence. That somebody
that end,
that somebody somehow, and not to give any kudos to the guy, but how clever they were to freaking hijack a plane. Well, actually, I think it was 3 planes, but they missed. One of them, I don't know if they missed, but they caught him before he was able to do that, right?
So I remember it was the 2 that were hijacked, and later on ended up in the Twin Towers, and then a third one ended up at the Pentagon. Like that, and it did crash, but I think it was.
But it didn't hit though, right?
No, it did.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it did. And I don't know if there was a 4th one. I don't know, but I don't know if the one heading. To be honest, I don't even know where the fuck the Pentagon is. I was gonna say, I'm not sure if it's near DC or I don't know, but I'm not sure if that plane that ended up crashing at the Pentagon, that was the intent, or was heading to the White House.
Oh,
I remember there was a thing that
you look it up in a while.
It wasn't gonna make it to the White House, and they were like, "Oh fuck it," and they just crashed out at Pentagon.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, maybe you look it up where that third plane was for 9/11, but it's just a matter that they were able to get away with it. That I think got everybody by surprise. I mean, think about it, put yourself on the shoes of like those. I don't want to say lesser countries, but less prepared countries, like let's say Mexico, that has been dealing with like cartels and their own problems. Now throw acts of terrorism that come outside of your country. And if it happened to the U.S., it could basically happen anywhere in the world.
Yeah,
that's what basically got a lot of the countries scared shitless.
Yeah,
because if it could happen in the U.S., it could happen anywhere, and that's why you see a lot of those airport measures that you see nowadays. Where they maybe make you take off your shoes and go through all these rigorous like security measures that it's all because of that.
Yeah, that definitely the taking off your shoes before the flight, that is a direct measure after 9/11 for sure.
Yeah. So no more stinky feet.
But by the way, I just checked the Pentagon is in Washington D.C. So
yeah.
So now I learned something new, or I confirmed
the
it.
More you know.
I figured where else would the Pentagon be? But to be completely honest, I wasn't sure
At least
where it was.
You got it in the U.S.
Until now. Oh, and let me see
where the plane.
Right.
But just to kind of go over, like, we're not historians by any means, but just out of memory and recollection of the events of 9/11. But you got Osama bin Laden, you have Saddam Hussein, who's basically the man on power, and these are radical leaders, right, of that era in those states. You got Saddam Hussein, who's basically being chased after the 9/11 attacks, and the U.S. It gets to a point where the U.S. can't find either when they're trying to, so they're looking for these guys. They can never find them. I believe they found Osama bin Laden hidden in a hole somewhere in the middle of a town or something. Like, it was kind of, I think he was in a hole for like months.
Yeah, I think so. And it was, I was going to say sort of recent, but did they did they catch Osama bin Laden recent, like 10 years ago?
So they caught
6 years ago.
They caught him 2011.
Oh shit! Yeah. So it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
It was 10 years after 2001. 9/11.
Yeah. So it took that long.
At this point, it's been 10 years. Fuck, I feel like it was yesterday.
That guy. I mean, if you think about it, that guy in a way kind of got away with it too, because 10 years.
Yeah.
Of actively them seeking them, and it can be easy because there's no. I mean, they have like their spy planes and stuff like that, but underground tunnels and whatnot. I mean, This dude could be anywhere in a mountain, in a desert. Well, actually, I think Osama bin Laden, he was in a cave in a mountain or something where that's where they found him. I think they shot a missile at him and basically killed him, right? Or
wait, were you referring to Saddam Hussein previously, or
yeah? So Saddam Hussein was in the hole, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Saddam Hussein was in a hole, and Osama bin Laden, I think he was in a cave somewhere in a mountain.
Yeah.
So sorry if I mixed that up, but I mean, Osama bin Laden, I can't remember when they killed him. If it took as long as
Saddam. Oh, they killed him.
At the,
like how
like
long?
Who was caught first?
Saddam for sure. So if I recall correctly, they caught Saddam Hussein like on I want to say 2003 or maybe early 2004, and by April the dude was dead.
Oh,
it was kind of quick, or something like that.
So who was on that video? Because there was a video that leaked, right?
Where they hang Saddam Hussein.
So Saddam Hussein is the one that
one that got hanged.
I remember watching that, dude. Yeah. Anywhere you looked, you could find a video. Hell, the news was putting that video. Yeah, I think it was leaked. I don't think they intended for that video to,
Yeah, that's true. I think it. I don't know what was the deal. I don't know what exactly are the rules in Iraq where they, because the video didn't. It looked like it was like a cell phone video or something like that. If I recall correctly, I can't remember. Yeah. But anyways, it leaked or whatever. But I remember watching the video. It was freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So Saddam Hussein died in 2006, actually, not 2004, like I had said. So I'm just trying to see, just to get all my facts straight. So
Osama bin Laden was 2011 in Pakistan.
In 2004, they caught Saddam Hussein, and then between the trial and all that stuff, it took 2 years apparently. So basically, he got caught in 2004. He died in.
He got hanged.
In 2006.
Damn. I just, I don't condone those. I mean, to be a terrorist, dude. I mean, all these is just useless killing. That's just, I can't. It's like not even a mass murder, right? Like to kill 170,000 people in just an attack. Like you're talking about innocent lives. Let's kind of leave 9/11 for a bit and just the current state of events, right? Where the President Biden basically asked the military to remove themselves from Afghanistan, and now you see all these videos emerge of people from Afghanistan scared shitless because they don't know what's going to be happening now that the U.S. is leaving, right? Because they understand that they're not safe there. and
Right.
the U.S. presence is really helping them have a okay, way of living. Whereas now, if they live, they don't. It's a free for all, basically.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I'd be scared shitless too if all of a sudden a group of rebel extremists suddenly takes over the country, and their ideology is basically saying like women have. I mean, this is we're talking about Islam, right? Like some of the things in the religion itself are, I guess, very against women in that sense. Like where
they're more conservative.
They're more conservative. Like male is superior to women, and again, don't quote me on this. But you know what I mean. And
they don't have the liberties that we have here in the U.S.
But these guys, the Taliban are extremists. They're Orthodox Muslims.
Yeah.
So, I'd be fucking scared shitless if all of a sudden, you have any group of extremists, rebels, whatever, taking over a country. I wouldn't want to live in that country.
No, I do remember that. I think during the 9/11, one of the things that they were taught, right? I think it was as part of their religion or as a cultural thing. They would think that by killing a lot of people that may be your enemy or grant you into heaven, basically passage into
in the religion.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I think it was the religion, not so much the cultural thing. But I mean, if you go with that mentality in mind, these guys are heroes to the people that believe that way, right? I mean, it could be this specific group's interpretation of that passage or biblical passage or whatever that is. But still, I mean, that's how crazy these are the type of people that you're dealing with, right? So imagine you're in Afghanistan and you have this group of extremist people that believe that they're gonna go to heaven by killing. The more you kill, the more likely you're to get a ticket into heaven. And now you get this recent attacks where there's a suicide bombing at the airport. I believe is the next day after Biden announces that he has given the directive for people to leave the country to come back home, and the following day, more or less, there's a bombing at the airport with security, with U.S. troops, and the asshole, and I dare to say asshole, takes 170 people with him or her. I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a him because they wouldn't even let a woman,
be a participant of the acts.
And so, 170 people killed. Now, on the local news, right, then you hear about like 20-something students within the San Diego County that are stuck over there.
That was crazy.
For what, like, I think it was like a summer vacation or like a study abroad kind of program, or for some reason these guys were over there.
It was a summer vacation.
Yeah, so
it was something like four students from the San Diego area were there, but overall, I think it was something like in California, there were like 30 something because there were 29 students in Afghanistan that just made it back home, but up in Sacramento, and there were like 4 from the San Diego area. They were visiting family.
I would be shitting my pants.
Reasons.
I would be shitting my pants if I were to be stuck in a. What if I'm gonna look more into this? But what if they were picking up that plane that day that that the suicides happened? Because I know that they had a plane to come back home. I like from what I remember, like they had plans to come back home. But they were not able to because they were scared that in the process of them getting to the airport, something was going to happen to them. So they had a radius covering certain strategic areas. Even with those measures, they were like, well, we're not sure, because of the state of the country, like the kids could, get killed in the process. But I don't even have kids, dude, and I would hate to see like somebody's kid like stuck. I mean, even forget about even if they're not the U.S. citizens, like any kid, I would be like, dude, like that's. I don't know if there was kids involved in those 170 that they got that got killed, but it's just so. so fucking devastating, to be honest. It's sad to know. And then the cherry on top of everything is that you see the videos. These videos went viral. It's of the Afghanistans, I think, grasping onto like a U.S. airplane just because they go like,
right, yeah.
Think about the thought process of that is like, I rather take my chances, which physically, like the physics of you being able to hold on to a plane, like how fucked up are things in their country for them to like even go to that extreme?
Yeah, to fucking go onto the airport, trespass everything, whatever you have to trespass.
Yeah,
get on the runway, and then run aside a freaking plane. Like a cargo plane,
and you see the video, and yeah, it's a cargo plane. I mean, it's not funny, but it's
just insane, like how desperate.
It's like a nervous laugh. Yeah, it's oh god, yeah. I mean, the video basically records. I mean, the videos. I have seen 2 videos. One of them is of the plane, and I may be throwing it here if I'm able to find it, and if we can. But it's basically the plane taking off from the runway, and people are running, trying to hold on to the wing. There's a guy like grabbing like to the engine. There's a dude that you see kind of grabbing onto like, the suspension basically of the tires and everything. So, and then you see the plane take off. There's a second video where you actually are. I don't know if it's, I wouldn't be able to say if it's real or fake. I'm assuming it's real. But the plane's taking off and you're able to see the people that are just not able to hang on, that are just falling to their deaths.
No way.
Yeah, so it's that's when I was like, fuck. Like, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I don't know if there's a way. I mean, I'm not the person to get political. I don't know the state of anything, right? But I just don't wish it on anybody. And if you end up having to do that just to survive, I mean, I bitch about, things that are wrong in this country, but that's
Yeah, it's insignificant compared to what other countries are facing or what other people face.
Yeah. So, gosh, I really hope,
Yeah, and just to throw in some cold facts, what we were saying. So in the span of this 20-year U.S. occupation of Afghanistan, I'm sorry, there's been 2,448 American service members killed as of April of this year. So this does not include the most recent 13 service members that died. There's been 3,846 U.S. contractors. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that. If it's like some sort of
it's like the people that have set up their bases and stuff.
I guess that. Then there's been 66,000 Afghan national military and police dead. There's been 1,144 allied service members, including from other NATO member states. So, anywhere from England, France, or whatever. Afghan civilians that have died due to war have been 47,000. And then Taliban and other opposition fighters have been over 50,000 people. So, I mean, the numbers are insane. There's close to 200,000 deaths in 20 years. And which if you talk about wars, this is quote unquote nothing, compared to deaths in wars.
Right.
But we're talking about modern society. We're talking about
that's the sad
the 2000s.
Part. You would think that we would evolve and we would be, man. We just hang to history so much. But I bet you anything that there is a lot of people that are just done and fed up with this whole war on anywhere.
Oh yeah,
I could. it sucks to say, but I'm willing to forget all history. I know that, you know, it's different because I'm here in the U.S. and, you know, the circumstances are way different, but I'll be willing to forget all history and just like, let's start fresh and, you know, forget about all this stupid killing because it doesn't get us anywhere. It just sucks that we continue to see this because it sucks for the Afghanistan people and it sucks for the U.S. Hell, it sucks for anybody. Like even one life, it's just sad. But
yeah.
Man, I think we'll end it there. It's just such a sad note. I wish there was a better episode, but it's the state of the world, I guess. It's just sad that you still get these kind of news.
Yeah.
All right, we'll catch on next one.
See ya.